right, so today I'm making some locs. So while I'm making some locs, I said let me pass the time and tell you guys a couple of my favorite products that I like to use. So first thing I'm going to start with is, and the type of locs I'm making the little itty bitty, teeny weeny locs. You can see that? Yeah, you can see that. And I'm using the 0.5 crochet needle, which is the really, really small one, because these are actually some locs that I'm making for my daughter, Alyssa. She has a couple of locs that broke off. I already made quite a few, and I'm just making a few more so that I could do a repair on her locs. But anyways, I digress. So one of the more popular questions that I always get, and I know I'm always asking you guys, tell me what you want to hear, what type of subjects do you want me to cover? And one of the popular ones I get is, Charmaine, I just got my locs. What kind of products should I use? That is such a popular question because, up until this point, you always kind of had an idea of what products you should use and how you should use them. And so here you're starting on this brand new journey and you're not really quite sure of what you're supposed to use. So I'm going to try to lay it out and try to make it as simple as possible for you today. So the first and foremost, the absolute must that every single person that has locs need is you need a high quality shampoo. Now, when I say a high quality shampoo, I'm not talking about Dawn. Don't use the dish soap, please. You cannot use those things in your hair. I'm talking about a good high quality shampoo that's going to cleanse and put back some of those nutrients that you're going to need in your locks so that your locks can grow to be nice and strong and healthy. Now, one of my personal favorites is this one. This particular shampoo comes from our Locsanity Bold collection, which is a collection that we've designed for the fellas. This is a collection we created just for them. Now, just because it's something that's made for the fellas, don't mean we cannot use it as the ladies. So this one is one of my favorite because I love the scent. And you know what? As I'm thinking about why I love it, it might be because it's the scent that Alistair uses, so I feel a little closer to him whenever I'm using his stuff. Okay, we just had us a little therapy session. I owe you like $5 for that. But I digress. So the reason why I love this particular shampoo, and I always keep this one in the bathroom with me, is because not only is it a shampoo, but it's also a body wash. So I could use it as a shampoo, conditioner, and a body wash. So for those days that I just don't feel like switching between all of my different products where I have one for my face, I have one for my body, I have one for my hair, this one is one that I love because it does all of those things. And so that's why this one, although it's made for the fellas, is one of my absolute favorites. Second thing that as a newbie with some new beautiful baby locs that you're taking care of, second thing that you're also going to make sure you have in your arsenal is going to be a daily moisturizer. Now, the one that I personally love the most is our passion fruit. And the reason why I love this one so much for our new babies is because it is completely oil-free. Now, when you go out on the market and you start looking for moisturizers for your locks, you're going to find almost everything is going to have some oil in it. And some of our locticians, what they'll tell us is that, if you have new locks and you're putting oil in it, it's going to slow down the locking process. And so that's the reason why we created this amazing product. The smell is just divine, and it's going to give you all of the moisture that you need without any of the oil. So it's not going to slow down the locking process. So this is going to be the second thing that I would say is a must-have in your arsenal when you're first caring for your baby locks. Now, the next thing that I have that you may want to consider adding to your locks. For some of us, we may be a little bit more impatient, and you know how sometimes you see people and one day they have baby locks and the next moment they have locks down to their back and you're like, how did you go from A to Z so quickly? I wonder that often myself. But one of the things that we do have to speed up the locking process a bit is our Locsanity tightening spray. Now, this tightening spray is designed with black Hawaiian sea salt. Now, why sea salt, Charmaine? Well, you remember way back, if you go way back in the days when people used to first get their hair locks, the locticians, you tell them, go to the ocean and dip your head in the ocean and just let it stay. And this was a way that they knew that you could accelerate the locking process. Now, no one really understood as far as, chemically what was happening or what was happening on the cellular level. No one really understood, but they knew that if you dip your hair into the ocean, let the salt water get into the hair and leave it on the hair, that the hair would start to lock up quicker. Not everyone has an ocean 15 minutes away from their house. Actually, most of the country, we are not driving distance from an ocean, or if we are, it's not an ocean that we necessarily want to dip any part of our body into. And so we have this product here that saves you that trip to the beach, and it will do the same thing. The product will impart some moisture into the hair, and then of course it does the thing that a lot of folks when they're just starting out want, and that is to accelerate the locking process. You want your locks to mat down and to become mature as quickly as possible, and that's the product that will do that for you. In addition to that, there are a couple of other optional products that some people may use or some people may need. It really is going to depend upon the individual. For some folks like my husband, when he started his locks, he has problems with dandruff. And so what we found is that when he first started locking, not having any oil on the hair was extremely difficult. I mean, his hair was shedding left and right. He was just leaving particles, Alistair particles all over. It's like he was seasoning the house with all the stuff that was coming off of his head. So what we started to do for him is we started to just oil his scalp. Now, if you remember way back in the days, I do a lot of way back in the days, when you used to sit between your grandma's legs and then she would sit there and she would oil your scalp, very, very similar to that. You want to just put the oil directly on the scalp and not on any of the locks, because that may slow down the locking process. But if you are encountering lots of dandruff or you're lots of itchiness and it's just completely unbearable, that's something that you can do to get a little bit of relief. Now, as far as the oils that I would recommend for that, so there's two oils that I would suggest for that. The first one is going to be our jojoba. Now, you'll see that this one says body oil, but this is in fact a body and a hair oil. This is an oil that you can use all over. So this one is all natural. It doesn't have any preservatives, no added chemicals. It is absolutely amazing. So fresh out of the shower, you can oil your feet, your arms, your elbow, anywhere that you're going to, perhaps later you may get a little bit ashy, you can use that for it. And if you're just starting out and you're someone with dry scalp or you have dandruff issues, this is what you'll want to use in order to oil your scalp to prevent the dandruff. Now, another product that I have, now this one, for some folks that you may be struggling with your hair growing and you want to accelerate the growing process, this is a product that's going to nourish your scalp and really put all of the things in there that's going to help your hair grow faster, which means your locks are going to get faster. Again, with both of these, you only want to put these directly on the scalp themselves and not on the locks, because you don't want to slow down the locking process. So, recap. For those that are just starting out with your baby locks, and baby locks, I didn't even give a time frame. Usually you'll see baby locks will be anywhere from just getting installed to 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. It depends upon your hair texture and how quickly your hair mats. The first thing that you want to make sure that you do, get a high quality shampoo. Second thing you want to do is you must have a daily moisturizer, an oil-free daily moisturizer. Optional things are tightening spray, which is going to help accelerate the locking process. And for those that are suffering from scalp dryness, itchiness, we have a couple of different oils, our jojoba oil, and we have our growth serum. So those are the products that I would recommend for those that are just starting out in your lock journey, and you want to make sure that you do have a good, strong start, because oftentimes I'll meet people that are 2, 3, 4 years into their lock journey and they're, say, I'm struggling with this problem and struggling with that problem. And it really comes down to the foundation. Your scalp is the foundation of your locks. Your locks is the house that you're building. So you need to make sure that you're taking really good care of building a good, strong foundation, because those locks are gonna need them for the years to come. I hope that helps. Thank you for spending some time with me today. These are going to be for Alyssa. You see I'm making quite a bit of headways. I appreciate you tuning in, spending some time with me while I make some locks. Have a drink. Love ya. Mwah.